Good morning, everybody. This is Stacy Turner with our DMOpro Zoom. So happy to have you here joining us this morning, this couple weeks after conference. Jarrett and I went to San Diego conference for Juice Plus, and then we stayed for a couple extra days, which was really nice. And then the weather here was horrible. Like when I say horrible, it's because there's been a drought for a couple of years, like I don't know, 7 years or something like that in our area. So when in the spring, the wind always blows here, but it was insane. They closed schools. The roads were impassable. We had all of the pileups, like there were a bunch of people getting in car accidents. So we were supposed to come home on Wednesday and it was supposed to be super windy. So I was just thinking, are the flights even going to go through? Like, where are we going to end up stuck somewhere? So I said, Jarrett, do you have anything like you really have to be back for? And we started thinking about it, looking at schedules, and I had a sourdough class went Thursday night, but I also had one scheduled Sunday. So I said, I bet those girls will come Sunday instead. Let's like we don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. I'm not ready. And so he was like, yeah, me either. So we kind of moved some things in schedule and I had stuff to still do. I had a couple of Zooms scheduled and that sort of thing. So we extended our stay. We used some points for hotels and plane tickets. And I just once again was so thankful for the flexibility that this business schedule lends to me. And it's really something that I worked for from 22 years ago. Like that was one of the things I had in my head is I want to have, the time flexibility and the income to live life the way that I want to on my own terms. And whether that means, someday being able to go to grandkids when I want to stay, longer on vacation, whatever that looks like. I also just realized there's some things that maybe would be helpful to you guys to know. Um, and I think people have this idea that like once you get to national marketing director, that your life just gets crazy. It's so busy and you have no time for anything else, right? So I'll have somebody say, Stacy, can you do a call with me? I know you're so busy. I'm so sorry to bother you. Somebody on my team, and I'll be like, no, that like you're supposed to bother me. I'm supposed to help support you with team calls. Like that's part of my job, if you will. But it's the idea that, oh, at NMD, you must be so busy that you have no time for anything else. If that's true, then I would not be doing my business right. Right? Like that's not the life that I want to have, that I'm so busy at a leadership position. Now, think about in a typical like company, maybe the higher up you go, the more responsibility you get and um the more strain is on you. And it's a lot of times why people don't want the higher positions within a typical company, like a corporate job, because you see the life that that person above you leads. Like they don't go home till 7 o'clock at night. They have extra projects put onto them. They're managing other people's work. So if you have that thought process about leadership within a network marketing company, I just want to kind of ask you to check that a little bit and talk to your upline NMDs, and ask them like really what does that look like, because what we should be doing is magnifying our time or multiplying our time, our effort through team, right? And that's the beauty of this is you have other people sharing Juice Plus, talking to people, and also building up the same time, and you're helping to support them. So yeah, responsibilities change and they go up as you reach higher positions within network marketing company, but also your time flexibility should be able to be there if that's what you're wanting, right? Now, I know I'm most effective where I'm at. Excuse me. I can still build business online, right? Like I can share more, I can talk to more people, I can post more. That would be a whole different sort of way of doing this business if I wanted to go more social media. We heard from the gal at conference that talked about that. Like it's super intentional work to do any sort of business online more than just posting every once in a while. There's algorithms, there's like it's a whole different way of looking at business and doing business, which is doable. And I like kind of feed in both worlds, but definitely I'm more effective in person. So I would have to shift my um, kind of what my daily schedule would look like, or I don't really even have a daily schedule, but my daily activity would have to look like if I wanted to go mostly social media online. I couldn't stay in the same event mindset and person to person if I was traveling all the time. Like something would have to shift, right? But I know that. So even on vacation, it's not like I completely check out and I don't look at Voxer, I don't have any phone calls or Zooms. The best way to do this business is you just learn how to weave it into your life. Not in a way that's disruptive, right? Like I didn't have to check Voxer when I'm at dinner with my husband or tell him, "Oh, I'm sorry, let me go get on this Zoom real quick while we're eating dinner." I didn't have to do that because I can schedule those calls around kind of what we were doing, but I don't just check out and like go on vacation where I don't think anything about Juice Plus. Maybe for a couple of days I have done that, but I don't want to because then I know I'm going to come back to Voxer and there's going to be like 200 messages. I will say that shifts when you get to NMD leadership of how many dang Voxer chats you're in. So you really have to just be okay that there's a gazillion numbers on the screen of like how many chats that you have, how many messages in, and just check them, mark all heard. If you're on behind on Voxer, welcome to the club. Nobody is caught up, and if you think everyone is, you're probably stressing yourself out with that. I just go into the chat. If it's a message past 3 days, most of the time it's no longer relevant, and I just mark all heard and I move on. You don't have to listen to every single Voxer. It's great. So, and then it's like in about a minute you're caught up, and you're like, wow, look how good I'm doing today. I'm on top of it. So, but like, you get to choose what that looks like, but you're just weaving it into your everyday life. And that's what I did when the kids were little. I was able to do that just of as they were playing and involved in something, I could make a phone call because then it was all phone calls. We didn't really even text that much when they were little, when I was really building to QNMD, and we did text more when I was moving to NMD, but like you just find a way to bring it into your everyday life. If you're waiting for time to slow down, your schedule to show down, um your schedule to slow down. That's what I was trying to say. Um, if you're waiting for the timing to be right, less things going on in your life, like it's just not going to happen. I mean, the next 2 months are going to be insane when I'm looking at my schedule of, showers and wedding and organizing a boot camp. Like, what am I thinking, right? So I was talking to one of my team members about that too, and they were saying, Stacey, how are you involved in so many things? Because I run a mom's group. Like, I'm not just Juice Plus. Like, my hands are in a lot of different things. I meet with a lot of different people. I like to have a full life. I run an Airbnb, so I clean it most of the time. It's great exercise, and I can listen to audiobooks. I really don't mind doing it. I don't want to clean my own house, but I'll totally clean that Airbnb. I will pay someone to come clean my house, and I will not even pay myself to go clean the Airbnb. Is that silly? But I like being over there and seeing it and having it nice for the next guest. But I'm involved in a lot of things. I'm not just Juice Plus. And because I'm not just Juice Plus, that's where I make connections outside in different communities, right? And that's where I make friends and I'm interacting with people. And those touch points are so important. I don't remember exactly what I was going to say with that, but like it's just about being out in the community and not just working from home and finding a way to weave this into your everyday life. And if you are waiting for all these circumstances to stop, then you're just never going to find a way to do this. Oh, I know where I was going with this. So, how do you get in, like, how do you stay involved in so many things? That was one of what the girl said, and like keep my sanity. I've said this before, I'm not a perfectionist. Like I know the ball's going to get dropped in some areas. The major things, I'm going to pick them up. Like I will have it, it's covered. I'm not going to drop the ball on the main things, but there's probably other things like spelling on my PowerPoint. It's probably not going to be perfect. Like I'm just not looking for perfection. I'm looking for progress. Let's move forward. Yesterday at the sourdough class that I did last night, so we got in midnight on Saturday, and then I had a sourdough class on Sunday. Like, who does that, right? But it just is the way it was. I couldn't cancel it. I had people that coming. I didn't want to cancel. Oh, and I tacked on a sip and see and right at the end. So at the end, I had other people coming so that they could try the new superfood powders. It was crazy. It was insane. I forgot to have people scan the code to get into my boards app. The bread that I made didn't rise. It stayed flat. It was like, oh, come on a class that I was doing as an example. I rushed it. I kind of told them, like, I think I'm rushing this. We'll see if this works. Um, I forgot to offer the free gift I had bagged up and made for them to, if anyone ordered. I did remember to get the cards back, so that was good. I got the cards. I put this in the Voxer chat for you guys, and it did work. I got them back, and I got some orders last night and a new team member, but it was crazy. There were like, I don't know, I think probably 18 people at one time at the house. It was not perfect. It was not. It was a lot of mess and a lot of talking, and everyone had fun, and we just enjoyed it. I had to let go of this perfect everything. Like my house wasn't perfect. The bread wasn't perfect. But in letting go of that perfect, that prep, that this perfect timing, perfect outcome, you're going to make progress with that. If you're holding on to perfection, or you're holding yourself to this perfection standard, it's just not fair, and it's really going to hold you back. It will hold you back more than you realize. So, um, you just kind of got to do it messy, and it's not going to be perfect, and you get used to that. The other thing, when they were saying, how are you involved in so much? Like, how do you do these things? I don't worry about the thing I need to do until I need to worry about the thing I need to do. If I'll have a whole bunch of things on my schedule. I'm not going to be super concerned about, okay, the wedding is May 24th. I've done everything I need to do up until this point for the wedding. If I start stressing about the wedding and really thinking about the wedding, I have five other major things before then that I'm planning. Like, I can't put my whole brain into that. I don't need to right now. Not everything has to be focused on this wedding. There's other things. I'm speaking at a women's conference. Like, there's other things that need my greater attention before that does. When it needs my attention, I will give it to it. And I know that I'll take care of what needs to be done, but I'm not stressing about that when I have something else in front of me first. I get those things done that need to be done. I concern myself with what's next, and then I move to the next one, and then to the next one. But if I had all of this and started thinking, oh my gosh, I have to speak at this women's conference, I'm the one that said yes to that. I did that. I enjoy that. I wanted to do that. Like, why would I stress myself out over something I committed to that I wanted to do? I asked for it. I asked, do you need a speaker? So there's no fun in stressing about something that I wanted. I asked for that, all the different aspects in that. So just be careful. Where you're taking your head space into perfection. Look for that, because that's going to trip you up. It's going to hold you back. It's going to be the yeah, but part of your mindset. Oh, all after this, when this, then I will. That's perfectionism. It's just in a Halloween costume that we might call worry. I don't know, but just be mindful about that. Something else I wanted to chat with you guys about was I've talked about redirecting to get results. And I thought this morning, let's talk about reconnecting to get results. So, when you're reconnecting with those people that you've shared with already, you're reconnecting with people that have come to one event, you're reconnecting with your team member that came and letting them know, hey, this is how close you are to the next promotion. You're reconnecting with the person you sent a link to that said they were going to order, but you haven't seen their order in your back office. Girls, there are so many of them. Like, I have a list of people I've sent links to. Last week was spring break, like just give people space. But now we're at the 24th of the month. I don't want to wait until January, or I'm sorry, the 30th of the month and then decide, oh, where are these orders? Maybe I should reconnect with them and see where they're at. Start reconnecting now. So you're planting a lot of seeds, like kind of at the beginning of the month. If you don't reconnect with people towards the end of the month, you're going to miss opportunities to remind them. So you're just redirecting that conversation back to what they already said they wanted, and then reconnect with them on that why. Or I'm using the websites, just saying, we still have these quirky websites. Sometimes the orders aren't showing up. I just wanted to make sure I didn't see yours. And, maybe you've just gotten busy, but I know you had mentioned wanting to order the trio for yourself. What do how's that going? Or did that link work for you? That's an easy one. Hey, just checking back in with you. Did that link work? We have this new website. It's a bit quirky and I'm not always seeing those orders come in right away. So just wanted to reconnect with you. I try to avoid the word follow up. I just don't like it. And sometimes that can feel like a salesy, like network marketing salesy term. But reconnect seems to do well with people. I find that they respond well to that. Always, if you're sending a text message, remember if you want a response, you got to ask a question. So at the end of your message to them, ask them a question like, did that link work for you? Did you have any issues with that link? Just some sort of question that they'll respond back. If you're just giving them a statement, then there's no reason for them to answer you back. So don't ask the question at the beginning, ask the question at the end of that sentence. Keep it short, or if that little paragraph you're going to text them, and I think you'll get a better response with that. But it's our job to go back and reconnect with people. We've said this before, follow up is professional. Professional people do follow up. They're reconnecting back to those conversations with those people. So if you don't have a system that you're writing these things down in, or in your phone, wherever that is, then you're going to feel like by the end of the month, there's a lot of loose ends and you're not really sure how to tie them up. So you want to have, I use my DMO planner, the contact sheets in the back, writing those names down in the daily activity of the events, like who came to the event, who said they wanted to come but didn't. Guys, having the sample packs for I'm loving the new superfood powders, just to have these in your purse. They're so easy. Like we couldn't give samples to people of the capsules. You're not like, here, let me give you a little baggie of some capsules. That would just be weird. We could with the gummies, but if they weren't interested in the gummies and they kind of think, well, those are for kids. But it's so easy to get into a conversation with someone about these superfood powders. And I'm just bringing it into like the lady that cut my hair in California. I just said, a lot of times people will ask you, where are you from? What do you do? Especially if you're meeting new people. And, or why are you in town? That was an easy one. I could just say, I was here for a nutritional conference. And she was like, oh, and then she told me she was vegetarian and just I asked her why she switched to that. Just had a conversation too about that. And then as we left, I said, I wanted to give you something. I mentioned that I was at the nutritional conference. These are our new superfood powders. It's fruit, veggies, and berries in a powder mix that you drink, that you can drink each day. I said, we also have capsules. That's what I've taken for 22 years, or gummies for kids or adults that don't like to swallow capsules. But we also have this powder mix now. It's so tasty. I'd love to give you a sample of that. And she looks at it and she's like, oh my gosh, yes, they love the packaging, the colors on it. And then I said, can I send you a couple videos to learn a little bit more about that? And she said, yeah, that would be great. How do I order this? And I said, there's a link in the link that I send you will have a link to order, but I'll reconnect with you in a couple days. So she gave me her number. I got like 6 people's information. The lady at the paint party I went to, like, you can just get into an easy conversation, but remember, you have to get their information. They're not going to go to a website. You've got to get their information. If I have a business card and I give them a business card, that's the end of it. I will probably never hear from them again. But it's my job to reconnect with them and to redirect their focus on what they said they were interested in or what piqued their interest or what I had shared with them, and then redirect them to the link. You can ask them if they have kids. I should know that from the few questions I ask these people. And then I can say, I would love to send you a link. Send me your child's name and birth date, and I'll send you a link so that theirs is free. And that seems to be working well with people too. They give you their name and birth date. They're not that hesitant about it. And then once you send the link, that doesn't mean they're going to order and you're just like, okay, great, that's fine. It was nice meeting you. And you'll see their order show up. It usually doesn't. Even that, like, even though you've had the conversation, you've sent them the link, it's very specific to them, you've given them a sample. It's still on us to reconnect once again and follow through with that, follow through with the conversation and move it to the point that they actually place the order. So again, if you don't have some sort of system where you're writing things down, keeping up with those names, who you've sent links to, it's just going to be floating in your head, or it's just kind of out there and it's gone. And you can start saying things like, and you've heard team members say this, nobody in my area is interested. My friends and family just aren't health minded, and they're not wanting to take Juice Plus. They're just not interested. People in this area eat terrible, and nobody wants this. Like, I've said those things. When you're not reconnecting with people, it's easy to get into your head because you've just sent them their invitation one time to an event and they didn't come. I don't get people to come to events from one invitation, just sending them the flyer. You have to have a conversation with them, right? So you're redirecting these conversations, you're reconnecting with these conversations you had so that you're directing it to the results that you want, which ultimately benefits them because then they order. And when they get the powders into their bodies, that's where we're actually helping them. So we don't want to just be passing out information and samples and inviting to events if you're not getting results. That could be a missing part, is you're not redirecting that conversation back to actually ordering, and you're making assumptions where they just got distracted. So that's what I assume in my head. Oh, they got it in, distracted, not, oh, I bet they talked to their husband and he told them no, and they don't have the money, and they decided they didn't want that anymore. And she was so excited, but now she's totally ghosting me. Like, when you start going to that place in your head, or you have a team member that's going to that place, you're making it about you. They're making it about them. It's not about us. It's about the other person. But often we don't follow through. We don't reconnect. We don't follow up with people because we're making it about us, and we forget it's about them. The whole point is to help them get their order placed so they get the powders in their bodies so that they get results in their health, right? So keep that in mind. Like, a reconnection of a conversation is professional, it's kind, it's helping them get the results that they've said that they wanted, or meeting a need that that they have and that they've admitted that they have. I mean, enough so that they've given you their information and you've been able to send them a link, right? So I hope that helps you guys. The end of this month, let's really start. Like, this is a perfect week. This week is the week we want to redirect those conversations back to the place of ordering. So either you're going to redirect them to actually watch the video that you sent, you're going to redirect them to come to an event that you're going to host, you're going to redirect them to the link that you sent, or you're going to redirect them to the information you need to send them a link, whatever that is. What's that next redirect step to keep them moving forward to get those orders in by the end of the month? And having a goal for that. I mean, 5 superfood powder orders, and the company's given us $500. Like, that's insane. That's crazy good. Remember, they have to be new customers, so that's a little bit tricky. You can use a husband's name, like if you have a customer that's already ordered the husband's name, but they have to be the husband's email as well. So keep that in mind, and they need to be like a reoccurring order every 4 months. Health study is not connected to this till April 1st. I've got some people waiting until it is because they're wanting. I really did try to get, we pushed that as your leadership council, advisory council. That was one of the things we were like, connect that as quick as possible. You don't want people delaying those orders in. But it's okay. They're willing to wait. And some of these girls, like two of them last night, they were like, no, I'll wait for it. It's just a couple more days. But as soon as it goes in, let me know because I want to get that mix. So they loved it. We did a taste test last night. We did like a blind taste test. That was kind of fun. I'll put a video out where I put capsules in water and shook it up. And then and then we poured that. I had some A1G that I had mixed up and poured into cups, and they tried those. And then the superfood. And of course, the superfood powders wins every time. Like the bland, just capsules, just didn't really have a lot of taste. And they're like, yeah, that's all right. The A1G, they were like, oh, it's pretty green. Like you can taste that it's veggies. It kind of was like a matcha kind of taste to them. And then with the superfoods, all of them were like, oh, that's good. That's really good. And so we had one girl that she had her eyes closed and we gave her different cups. She didn't know what it was, and it was kind of fun. So, yeah, we're like, just have fun with this. Take your samples, hand them out to people, invest in it, like buy extra boxes, guys. Like there's no business out there that doesn't have an investment. And you invest in your business and then your business invests back in you, and samples are a really great way to get the conversations going. Like meet with your customers for coffee. Hey, I want to give you a sample. Stop by their work and give them a sample. Don't you think that conversation with them and their coworkers are going to see them excited about this and like, oh, what is that? And then they've put it into water and mix it up and they drink it and they're saying, oh, that is good. And their coworkers are like, wait, what is that? Oh, I've heard about that before. Oh, they have that new thing. Like, think of the conversations that this can spark when it's in the hands of other people besides just you. Like, there's some really cool things about that. And then have events to invite them to. So I'm not going to just go give them this and leave them hanging. I have another event that I'm going to give them this and invite them to the next event. So put some legwork in, planting some more seeds. We want that 500 bucks. I know I do. What are you guys going to do with that $500? Have you already decided that's not something attainable for you? Or have you decided you're going for it? I hope you guys have decided, oh, I'm getting that 500 bucks. Are you guys? Raise your hand if you're getting that 500 bucks. Yes. Heck yeah. Why would we not? That's like an insane deal. When they told us that on the leadership council, I was like, are y'all crazy? Like $500? Are you serious? I said, I think we would be happy with 250, and they were like, no, we're doing 500. So good thing they didn't listen to me on that. You guys all get 500 bucks. All right, let's open it up. Anything else you guys want to add? Anything that you connected with? Something else? I haven't been able to read those comments, but what are your thoughts on this? Are
I'm
you,
going to go really quick.
yeah,
When you're talking about the follow-up, Eric Worre talks about having 12 to 15 follow-up to get results. So just a reminder, that's like uh, it's through the industry. And the other thing is in our team, the cotton team, we don't use follow-up. Nikki calls that the FU calls. So if you think about it, right, you don't want to make an FU call, but just a empowerment or shining call type of thing. And this was so good for me, Stacy. Thanks again.
you're
Appreciate it.
welcome.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a question, Stacy, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Actually, you said you have to follow up and with them and ask them a question at the end. A lot of time I ask that question and that I didn't get any response. What do you do next? Should you send them another message or you just stop here?
Yeah, so are you asking them, like, give me an example maybe of a text message that you sent them and you asked a question?
Okay, like for example, I send a message to one of my friend. He wants to be like a partner, and
Okay.
I send him already the video, and he liked the video. And I asked him, let me see here. Sorry, I'm gonna tell you exactly the conversation. Yeah, and at the end, I said, what information do you need from me that would help you make an informed decision? because he said he's at 5, like 5 at out of 10. He
Okay.
likes the products.
Yeah, that's a great question. And he might just be thinking about it. Just assume he got busy and he was going to answer that because that's kind of a depth question, right? Like he's probably going to have to think about that. Like, what is holding me back? Or he may not know what information he needs from you because you said, what information do you need from me? So he might not know what's available to him to ask you for that. So you could ask, what's holding you back? What could move you from a 5 to you're ready? Or what's your hesitation? I like to
Yeah,
ask.
you feel like this is a wrong question, maybe, or not?
I don't know if wrong. It just,
Yeah.
he could have just as easily responded to that, right? So I would assume he just got busy. So you could, and he said he did want to become a partner,
Yes.
but he wasn't ready to order the product.
Yeah, he's out. I like 5 out of 10. He likes the product, but he's on 5. Like I asked him on a scale from 1 to 10. Like, what do you see yourself?
And so, where did the partner conversation come in this, where he said he wanted to be a partner?
Yeah, he actually, I met him at the gym and I was talking. He's a BTA like me. And I was talking to him and he said he doesn't like to work as a BTA anymore. And he's looking for some like a uh, part-time thing
Okay.
to do it.
So I would guess his belief just is not there yet, right? So when they have like a 5 out of 10, I would say they need more information on the actual business or on the actual product. So it's going to be hard, like, yeah, I want more money, but I don't necessarily, understand or believe in this product because I've never taken it. It's a big jump to go from like I need something else to make income to I'm going to become a partner before I've even ordered or really understand this product. So I can understand why he would be at a 5. That means like I'm interested, I just don't have enough information, I'm not confident enough moving forward. I do know that there was a great call that was recorded by Kevin Sulcer, and
Yeah.
he talked about physical training. You might send him another piece of information that kind of is relevant mostly to him. I don't know if you've seen that call from the,
Yeah, I was there.
yeah. So I don't know if you think that that would be a good one, but I would just say he's interested, right? Like 5 is an interested, but it's not ready to commit. But it's a good question when you asked him, what information he would need. But is
Yeah,
there
because I usually end my conversation with a question,
yeah, very
but
good.
sometimes people doesn't
Yeah.
respond.
Yeah, I would say that. I think he might be feeling like, "Ooh, I've got to make a decision with this. Like I'm just not ready for that." I would just keep educating him, keep inviting him to events, and then maybe send him another piece of information. So has he listened to that call by Kevin?
No,
Okay,
no.
that would be perfect. Say, I listened to this the other day and I immediately thought of you. I thought it would be super helpful because XYZ, this guy did whatever.
Mm,
Like what stood out to you in the video? Keep it short as a message for guys and just ask him, would you like me to send that to you? I wouldn't just send it to him. I would ask him if he would, and then you'll see if he does want to engage back. And then also if you can see him in person. You met him in person at the gym,
mm.
can you start that conversation up? And I wouldn't say like, hey, did you get my message? I would say, oh my gosh, I listened to this guy and he so reminded me of you. I think you might love this. Can I send that to you? And
Okay.
that would be an encouragement to him. I think
Mm.
it's just keep moving it down the pathway. He's just not ready to commit yet.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, good question, Vivian. Anyone else? I saw somebody else's hand up. Yeah, Janet said you could offer a connection call to a mentor. I would guess he would probably still be hesitant about that because at a 5, I don't want to get on the phone with someone who's going to pressure me into into a decision I'm not ready to make. So I would just keep the education going first. And then once he's got questions, then you could definitely get him on a connection call with your sponsor to help build that confidence. But I bet if you asked him that now, when he's not responding even that last question, it probably just would not go well. I wouldn't jump to that quite yet.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Natalie asked if that's a call that could be shared in the Voxer chat. I believe it was. It was by Keep Punching University. They had shared it in the Voxer chat. So just scroll back up. And if you guys aren't paying for Voxer, that you can go back up, pay for Voxer. It's like $3 a month. It's one of the cheapest investments we have in our business. And then you can, like, the messages don't fall away. You can search in the chats, you can search in different messaging, and you can look for that. So I highly encourage you can recall a message when you actually accidentally push the button and it's recording in your purse for 15 minutes. Crazy conversation with your niece and nephew about aliens. Not that that has ever happened to me in an NMD group or anything. I mean, I wouldn't tell you guys about that. Marcia, what question do you have?
Um, we're doing our first tasting tonight, and I was looking to see if you have anything to add besides what you already shared about the taste test. That's a really clever and fun thing. Do you have anything else to add how you shared that?
It was chaos, I will say that. I didn't have my typical helpers for my sourdough class, so I felt like I was a little bit all over the place. We were finishing up the sourdough class, and then those people were coming in, which I think was kind of cool because all the people at the class were like, "Wow, more people are coming." There, I told them ahead of time this was going to happening, but it was a lot. I will say that. So I was like scrambling. We made a smoothie, a vanilla smoothie with frozen cherries with the vanilla complete. And we were tasting it, and I was like, this is really good, but something's missing. The vanilla complete. I forgot to put that in there. So then we had to make another one. It was just funny. I was like, you guys are supposed to be watching what I'm doing and catch me. So, but we added the superfood powders to almond milk and frozen dark cherries, and then the vanilla complete. It was good. I don't know if you guys have tried that, but it was pretty tasty. And they were saying, oh, my kids would definitely drink this. Um, so that was kind of fun. Oh, I did sparkling water, and everyone really liked that. So I ordered sparkling water from Walmart pickup, and it ended up I ordered peach sparkling water. So that gave it a little bit more flavor, and it was tasty. Just you cannot shake it up. Obviously, it's carbonated. We put a little bit into a cup, used their blender, and then slowly added it because it just kept foaming up. But that was good. We tried some with ice, without ice. I was just kind of trying to give as much a variety as I could of options of what do you like best. And I have found I like it best just in water with ice. But and then that was kind of fun to have those different options, but it felt like a lot of chaos last night. Like I think I would love to get the opinion of a couple of my team members that were there, but we were getting orders, and we were, there was a lot of interest. And so some of the girls that have been hesitant to order the capsules, they came because they wanted to taste it. And then I had other people this morning texting me saying, I forgot to come last night, but I do really want to try that. So that, like, the interest really seems to be there. So those are the ones I'm going to go to their office and take them a sample and see, having a conversation with them that way. But I don't know if that helps. Make sure I mean, if you want orders, you're going to have to ask for that, right? So the contact cards and order form, whatever it is, something needs to be filled out to where you have their information. And we were making cart links and sending that to them right there, and then having them fill out that order form and actually order. So, I mean, I'm sorry, we were sending them the link. They would click on it on their phone, and then they would fill out the information. And then I was there to help them if they got stuck with the password or whatever that was. But that was kind of chaotic because you had 4 or 5 conversations of people wanting a link, and then they would get stuck with this part, and then I would help to redirect them. And then so it felt like it was a lot. The more partners you have that are all working there together will make it the
Yeah.
conversation flow.
One other question, is there an order form like that one that is with um, the big pictures on it and pricing or whatever? Is there one out there now that has superfood on it, or do we have to do that kind of separately?
I
Do you
saw
know?
one come through a Voxer chat this morning that is like in final stages of just review, but I was told not to share that, which I don't know why. I haven't really looked at it in detail, but I think Marcia, I'll send it to you and then you look at that. I didn't see any issues with it, and I had one that I was going to update for us, but this one looks great and somebody else did it, so I don't have to. But just having that one page, because you're not collecting you're just collecting their content that I'm sorry, their contact information and the products that they want, but not their payment information anymore, right? We don't need that. So I'll send it to you and see what you think, but I think it's kind of in the final stages of some NMDs looking at it, but it looked fine to me.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, some sort like those contacts cards that you had, Marcia, I think that those would work too. Just something where you're getting them to decide what product do they want.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to add a little button on there that's just got SF on it. And if that's what they choose, they can circle that. So we can use those and not trash them. And then I love yours. You did a great job on your card, Stacy. Thanks for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, use what you have. I totally agree with that. Hmm.
Are you guys adding extra water or anything like when you do the luminate and the superfoods, out of curiosity?
In the superfood bottle that they gave us
Mhm.
at conference, it has 15 ounces, and I was using 14 to 15 ounces last night. I would just fill it up with our RO filter water and then dump that in, shake it up. The first one I showed them the whisk, they all were like, "Ooh, I like the whisk." But then I showed like just shaking it up worked just as well. And so I was using about 14 or 15 ounces of water, whatever is in that bottle.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think a little more diluted that way is better. Yes, Tap.
I just wanted to say that I've often used the line that Vivian did about what information do you need from me to help you make a great decision? And often people don't get back, or they feel stumped maybe that it is a big think type question. And I just want to share, I've gotten a lot better results by saying, what is that question nagging in your head that needs to be answered? Share that with me, because they know what that is.
Yeah. And
Right?
think about that, Tap. Like, that's an actual question that you would have in conversation with someone, right? If you were sitting across from someone at coffee, would you use the verbiage on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in your decision making? You probably, like, that's probably not a part of everyday conversation, right? And it's different. It kind of puts us into that network marketing follow-up mindset where I like you're asking the same thing, but it's more conversation. You might actually ask somebody that at coffee. So there's
Yeah,
got to be something in there. Yeah.
we all have that voice in our head.
Yeah. So just I think that that's as much as you can make it conversational versus scripted. Try to think of it that way. What's an actual question in a conversation I would ask somebody? If we were face to face, would I ask the conversation the same way? Probably, probably we wouldn't. Maybe you would, and maybe you get a great response with that. But I'm gonna guess that's like if you can tailor that conversation to would I actually ask somebody this in person, that could help. But I like that Tap.
Yeah, and it goes both ways. If you can text the way you would actually speak instead of the way you would write,
Mm.
then you'll be more in a conversation mode and you'll get more conversation back.
Listen to what she said there. Text as if you would speak versus how you would write it. Tap, that's good.
Yeah,
Somebody,
that's very good. Thank
someone
you.
quote that. Let's put that on a t-shirt or something. Like that's a good one, Tap.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
I
Anyone
have a
else?
I have a question, Stacy.
Sure. Hi, Angie.
So, I have a 5-year-old granddaughter who doesn't eat the gummies or whatever, and so I made her the drink, like a half dose of it, and she
Mhm.
loved it.
Yeah.
Do you know if they will be opening that up as a child's option with the health study?
I
Um,
don't think so because it's the trio, right? It's the fruit,
right.
vegetable, and berries, where the child portion is just the fruits and veggies. So I'm guessing not. But you could do it as the adult portion and just share with them. Or, if they're like really want those powders into their child's diet, just have them order a 4-month supply, which is going to last 8 months for a child, right? So divide 287 by 2, and that would be the daily price. Like if that's a way a parent can get that into their little bodies, it's not much. Yeah, but that's
Right.
a great question that people have asked.
I've also been running into that, and I've been offering to do like on April 1st, somebody can come in and get the double, and then I say, then you'll have a drink for them and you'll have some gummies for them to snack on. And it does focus the whole order kind of on the kids, but for people that are already customers, they like the idea of having like a family availability of drink so everybody can snag one when they want one.
Yes, that's great. And I'm having I like that so they can have the gummies to snack on, but they can have the drink. That's a great way to put it. And I am finding customers are wanting to order so that they have that option of the capsules. I'm sorry, of the drink mix if they don't want to swallow the capsules. I wonder what this looks like 4 months out with delayed capsule orders because they've been doing some of the drinks sometimes. I wonder what that's going to look like. Or if multiple people in the family start drinking it, they'll go through it faster than 4 months. I don't know. I just think I could have gotten my teenagers to drink this when they were refusing capsules and gummies in high school. Like just for a couple of years, they all went through a phase where they had eaten gummies or their whole life and they were just done with it, or they just kind of got disinterested, but I could have mixed this up even at dinner and given it to them and they would have drank it. Like it's really tasty. So I think it bridges that gap for a lot of people that are just that capsule fatigue. Um Gwen says she canceled her trio and replaced it with the superfoods. Yeah, so I think we'll see some of that too. But I do think it's bringing people back into the conversation who didn't like the capsules or just didn't do the gummies. So I'm redirecting conversations, my follow-up back to them, reconnecting with those people. And there's been some interest there too. Mercedes, that's a good idea. She said you could consider voice texting. So next best thing to being face to face. But I like what you said, Tap. Is it what you would write or is it what you would say? Text what you would say versus what you would write out. Try to get away from script type copy paste answers.
You can copy paste the other kind too.
Yeah. Yeah. Connect with that person with that conversation back as much as personal as you can make it. Your follow-up is going to be better. Asking them how their spring break was, and then they're like, oh, we have it next week. Okay, that's fine. Then you can, oh, where are you going? Like you can keep the conversation going. So sometimes bringing the something else into the conversation that's not juice plus, asking them a question just to get them responding back to you and then the conversation can go forward. Anything else, guys? Nope. All right. I'm going to stop the recording.